the more I learn about it, the more devastating it is. It's really heart-wrenching story, and I don't think many Canadians know the full truth behind it.
My name is Alice Little Deer. I'm 78 years old.
My name is Raymond Mason. I'm 62 years old.
I'm Madeline Dion Stout. I'm 62 years old.
Tracing back to the 1800s, Aboriginal colonies were invaded by European settlers. Millions of innocent Aboriginal men and women were forced to abandon their cultures as their Indianness was deemed a threat to European settlers. Policies in the first half of the 19th century were implemented throughout North America to obliterate Indian culture through education. In 1851, Alexander H. Stewart stated that Indians were encompassed by an unbroken chain of civilization, and the only alternatives left are to civilize or exterminate them. Through the influence of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the encouragement from the government's compensations, students who endured the pain and torture are stepping forward. It's through their bravery and their willingness to share their stories that we are able to sympathize for these victims. Through these experiences, us as the future generations can learn to celebrate the Aboriginal culture that we tried so hard to take away. We as a society need to acknowledge the injustices of residential schools and colonization. We can no longer ignore the pain and the suffering, but rather we need to learn from our mistakes and implement systems and healthcare plans to help repair these terrible pasts.
Our objective is to continue until there is not a single Indian in Canada that has not been absorbed into the body politic, and there is no Indian question and no Indian department.
In 1819, a civilization policy was put in place. The Bible will be their book, and they will grow up in habits of morality and industry. Leave the chase to those of minds less cultured and become useful members of society. The federal government believed that through education they would be able to remold Aboriginal boys and girls and make them civilized people because white civilization was the only option. Until 1996, Aboriginal boys and girls had to go through a cleansing process where they were forced away from their families and stripped from their traditional values before they could learn the white man's ways. Rules were implemented such as all instruction must be in English. Every effort should be made to encourage them to abandon their tribal language. The government began to hide behind religion in order to justify their actions. In these government-funded schools, Christian values were plastered on the walls that expressed that Jesus would save them and that being a white man is the only way to live a good life. Here is a picture of Sir Alexander Elementary School, where Stephen was forced to attend amongst many other Aboriginal boys and girls. The children at this particular residential school resorted to alcohol, hairspray, and solvents to get high and escape the harsh realities that they were stuck in. Unfortunately for Stephen, he was forced and born into this situation. He has always been surrounded by drinking, and to him, alcohol was an easy escape. By the age of 8, Stephen had started drinking, and by 14, he was partaking in drugs.
I just remember arriving there and donning new clothes and, of course, getting a haircut.
He was setting an example that, if you do this is what's going to happen to you.
My strongest memory there is when the little girl died beside me.
I got strapped. I got beaten up for speaking my own native tongue. I even had my tongue pulled out and pinched.
Since the closing of the last residential school in 1996, changes are occurring in attempts to heal the pain.
I would really like us to move forward, not to erase our memory of who we are, because residential school is certainly a part of who we are. Us all to be a part of a team that really makes a lasting difference.
With it now being 2016, marvelous changes are continuously being made, especially by Canada's new leader, Justin Trudeau. He expresses inclusion by adding 2 Aboriginals to his cabinet. In addition, Trudeau has allotted $8.4 billion for First Nations people over the next 5 years to help rebuild their relationship with the Aboriginal culture. Remember, it's important to never give up and to focus on celebrating the Aboriginal culture alongside our own.